to form war as far as since World War II, when Congress declared war. That was the last time we declared war on anybody. And
does it matter?
Well, yes, it does. And let me tell you why it does. Because when you go to war, war is a serious thing. And you don't go to war to go ahead and fire and let's hit this house, but don't hit this. Don't hit that mosque. Don't hit that church. Don't hit that school. Oh, no. No, when you go to war, you flatten everything. When you go to war, I'm sorry, all bets are off, because it's a serious thing. Look at the footage from World War II. Did they say, you know what, we're not going to hit this church? No, it was carpet bomb. They carpet bombed everything, because that's what you do when you declare war. It's serious, and
there was one exception to that, Joe. It was in Manila, where MacArthur's family owned a lot of the businesses in downtown Manila. Those businesses were not destroyed.
Right, but my question, that's great, of course. But my question is, why can't people see that what they're doing has nothing to do with war? It has nothing to do with war. You know, that's what absolutely irks me. When we come back, folks, we're going to get into the home stretch. Boy, I'm getting kind of irritated now. So stay tuned. This is Freedomlink Radio on the Intel Hub News Network. We'll be right back, folks. Don't go away.
A very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and family. Now this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years, but the crazy part is he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties, a few years ago. In fact, Baronis called his work a dire prophecy. Now, this has nothing to do with the stock market, but it could have a huge impact on almost every aspect of your life. And recently, he created a video which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including simple steps you can take to protect yourself. You can find the video at www.endofamerica8.com. Although this video may be offensive to some audiences, it's worth checking out. Again, that's www.endofamerica8.com. Watch this free video at www.endofamerica8.com.
Are you still paying your credit cards and so-called bank loans thinking that you owe the money? Do you feel like it's your moral obligation but can't see an end in sight? Well, what if I told you that in truth, you don't owe a single penny, and that the banks know this and hope you don't find out? Here's where we come in. Free2Prosper.com specializes in a profound debt repudiation method which challenges the validity of your so-called debts, morally frees you from the burdens, and protects your property. Our system is often superior to settlement, bankruptcy, or consolidation, which often leave you in a worse situation. If you feel the moral obligation to take care of yourself and your family, then I urge you to consider taking action right now. The economy will not wait. If you want to know more so you can prosper through the economic collapse, all while staying honorable and true to yourself, then call 877-417-8393. That's 877-417-8393. Or visit free2prosper.com right now.
Make sure and listen to the P.A. Monsanto Show every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Intel Hub News Network.
In a world where corrupt oppressors and oligarchs have seized control of the populations, total tyranny is amongst us. The burden of humanity rests shoulders. The only way out is to expose the global crime syndicate known as the New World Order. Together, we are all one. Together, we are Intel soldiers. The battle for free humanity ensues. Join us in the fight. TheIntelHub.com.
Welcome back, folks. We're in the home stretch. The number to call, 877-598-8549. We've had some outstanding audience participation here tonight, and I would like to thank everybody for sounding off, everybody that's called in for sounding off tonight and giving your opinions and giving us your comments on a lot of these issues that are affecting us all, because it really is a serious thing, and it's very important that we network while we still have the opportunity to do so. Anybody that wants to find out more about the show, what guests we're going to have on, any new articles that we're writing, or any talk about the latest news headlines, we post that now at www.thefreedomlinkradio.com. And you can go there, and John posts his King's Court after every show, so anybody can go back and take a look and see if he's actually right about this stuff. Yeah, that was a dig at you, John.
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm putting it out there, not just so I can gloat, just so I can keep track of what's going on. A few people have told me, hey, if you're making predictions, put them down on paper and let's see if you're right. So this is just a way to keep track and find out if I'm right or wrong. No,
that's great. You know, we were talking about MacArthur, Roosevelt, and did they know about what was going on before Pearl Harbor was bombed? And yeah, I mean, for the most part, I have to say that yeah, they sure as heck did. The country was bankrupt. The country was bankrupt, and they needed to do something to give the economy a kickstart. Well, what better way to do that than to go to war, right, Griff?
Well, that's one way. I don't know that the country was bankrupt, Joe. It was still on the silver and gold standard back then, or the silver standard.
The debt level to GDP at the time of Pearl Harbor was 106%. That's where it was. And after the war is when you saw the tax bracket skyrocket. You know, you often hear Ronald Reagan talk about that during his time as an actor, when he was paying 90% income tax, federal income tax. So it's very interesting to hear that type of talk and actually see history kind of play itself out. But yeah, it was at 106%. As a matter of fact, they were having trouble selling war bonds during that time. It was a tremendous effort to be able to sell the war bonds in order to finance the war.
Did you read that in a history book?
Yes, I actually did.
Who wrote the history book?
I can't remember who it was that wrote it. I'll email you when I find it. I have it upstairs. I'll give you the title and all that stuff. Believe it or not,
I think the movie stars and people of notoriety turned out and they sold gazillion dollars worth of war bonds. The kids were buying war bonds at school.
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah. They all did, absolutely. The problem was that the cost of the war exceeded that ability. I mean, they were really, really. Think about it. I mean, the whole world's at war, and here we are. We're fighting a two-front war. Actually, two wars, yes. Two wars, yeah. So, I mean, it was very expensive, very costly for the United States. But how did we get on the World War II thing anyway now? Let's see, I'm all...
I asked you if World War II was found in your
Oh,
children's history books.
Right. Now, I don't use history books per se, like a school textbook, Griff. What I do is I go back and I'll research things and see what the best kind of source is. There's a lot of homeschool resources, resource websites. There are forums and places where you can discuss where you can get the best accurate information to teach your kids. And what you'll come to find out is about 90% of homeschoolers don't use textbooks because it's bunk.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I don't believe the country was as bankrupt as you said. I just don't believe that.
I'm just going off of historical charts, historical debt charts. You can go back and take a look at the debt level, and you can see it spikes right around World War II at 106%. And that really, a lot of that didn't have to do with the war, Griff, as much as it had to do with the New Deal and all of the programs that Roosevelt instituted. And that had a tremendous effect on our debt. I mean, he was spending money like a drunken sailor, you know?
Sure.
Far be it,
yes.
I mean, the former Secretary of the Navy.
And what was Eleanor doing?
She was having a lesbian love fest in the White House while Franklin was away.
Yeah, Eleanor was lesbian. She messed around with the women while Franklin was fighting the war. People in history know that. Nobody talks about it, though. Amelia Earhart was also a lesbian girl. You won't find that in history books either.
Yeah. So
what does that mean, Joe?
Well,
I don't know.
I
don't know.
I don't know either. But I'll tell you what, we're I don't know. It really it bothers me.
Amelia married a banker to finance her airplane flying.
Wow.
Yeah, smart girl.
Now I want to put this out too, folks. Anybody that's processing or in the process of doing their taxes this year, those who aren't sovereign citizens, the IRS is not ready to process many returns until mid-February. As a matter of fact, from what I hear, it's going to be around the 14th of February. What do you know? Kind of one of those John King dates. You know, it kind of perked my ears up. But the delay applies to all 50 million or so taxpayers who itemize deductions. Since Congress restored the opportunity for taxpayers to choose between deducting state income taxes or state sales taxes, the IRS had to revise the Schedule A, the form used by itemizers, and it won't be ready to go until February 14th. So anybody that itemizes, guess what? Yeah. So you won't be able to do your taxes until then. So how do you feel about that, Griff? I
think the IRS is a bunch of criminals.
They are a bunch of criminals. It's like the mafia, you know.
Sure.
And that's just it really irks me. So now, right? Let's just go with this little thing. I'd like to figure out how you think the IRS would respond. So they can't start processing these returns till February 14th. Does that mean that we get an extra month and a half to do our returns?
No.
Well, why not?
Because
they can be late. Why can't we?
Ask a woman why she did something, and she'll say just because.
Yeah, that's right. I know. Yeah. Really a sad state of affairs we're in, you know. But self and family, that's what it comes down to, folks.
I think so.
Yeah, we really are in a sticky wicket here. So if you are what are you currently focused on right now, Griff?
Trying to can foods, vacuum can foods like spaghetti and noodles and rice and things like that.
Have you overcome the defect on the jars?
Well, it's a very individual thing. It's a little bit different. You just have to play with it. I can't throw away 2 pallets of canning jars. You know, some time ago I told you that the top of the jar where the food saver vacuum cap comes down on is not round. They're flat sides on it.